Ahoy, my friends, Ryder here, and welcome back to another Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis video. Today, I'm going to be discussing a controversial topic in Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, and I will be referencing something from the Datamine, so if spoilers regarding this game is something that you do not want to see, this is your warning for this video. I'm going to do a countdown. 3, 2, 1... Okay, this video today is going to be about guilds and Ever Crisis. I'm going to be showing you guys some of the new screenshots of menus that have been recently data mined by Where is the Kate Sith in one of the Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis discords. And I know that this has been a controversial topic as of late. When I read your comments, actually I read all of your guys' comments and I do my best to respond to all of them, whether that's helping you guys with teams or just trying to cheer you on or, you know, kind of see from both sides of the playing field how people feel about certain things. And one of those things is guilds. So for me, honestly, I'm excited about guilds. I played War of the Visions like pretty competitively for 2 years before I kind of started to taper off. Gumi was just not really my cup of tea when it comes to a developmental game studio. But to be honest, one of my favorite things about War of the Visions was the guild system, the fact that we had guild wars. Now, I don't think we're going to have anything like guild wars in this game. I think it's all going to be PvE focused content. However, I do think that ways in which the game can create content that brings players together to tackle an otherwise greater objective, I think is overall good for the game. Now, I know that some of you guys out there are very much against it. I've heard certain arguments, one being such that guilds were not a part of the lore of Final Fantasy VII, and where I can see where, you know, this perspective might come from, but at the same time, being a world builder and a novelist for 13 years, you can't expect the creators to put all of the lore into any storytelling medium. It's just not possible. You know, for me, when I write books, I wrote an entire book of mythology for lore. It's not like I can contain that entire book of mythology while publishing other novels. It's just impossible. Now, Avalanche in its original inception was more like a small terrorist organization, but with the new dawn of Remake and how they're kind of changing the plot, you might see the organization of Avalanche as being a kind of guild, right? So it just depends on how you feel in that regard. Now, I know that there's people who had a bad experience when it comes to War of the Visions or maybe in other games. Some people think that it's overdone. They put it in every game. To be honest, I think that when it comes to something being overdone, it just depends on how they implement it, right? I mean, a hamburger is overdone, but if you give me one that's been well cooked and tastes good, I'm still going to love it. You know, I'm not going to get to a point in my life where I'm like, man, I'm just over hamburgers because they're just everywhere, right? Or pizza or anything of that regard. I feel like if I took that approach to life, eventually everything would become dull, right? Books, the same thing, movies, and I don't want to lose that color in my life. So I'm curious, what do you guys think? Are you guys excited for guilds? It does seem as if they are on the horizon. I am starting to lean more and more into thinking that the high wind that has been silhouetted in the week 7 thumbnail may actually be something to do with guilds. So let's head over to the Discord right now and check out some of the new menus that Where's the Kate Sith, or When Are Kate Sith, I think they changed their name, has been checking out. So here's one right here, create guild, create a guild and become a guild master. So it looks like 100 crystals, paid or regular, is all it's going to take to join a guild. It does look like there's a cooldown. In War of the Visions, if you left a guild, there was a 24-hour cooldown before you could join another one. So it looks like there's going to be something like that implemented here. It looks like you will be able to search for and send a request to join a guild as well. But it looks like you cannot send requests during the cooldown period. And this says nani 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 do mare ato. Yeah, exactly the same thing, I think. So I mean, and then it looks like we have just a few other menus right here. Looks like you can remove members. I'm guessing there will be leader positions and sub-leader positions. It looks like here you are. If you're out of hand, you're going to get removed from the guild. Removal will trigger a 24-hour cooldown. You cannot create or join guilds during this time. You've been automated. So it looks like all the removal menus have been added, but none of the adding ones for the guilds. You've been automatically removed from the guild as login was detected. Oh, as login was undetected for a period of time. So it does look like if you don't log into the game for a set period of time, I'm guessing that the sub-leaders or leaders of the guilds are going to be able to choose what that period of time is. It looks like there's an auto removal system that it looks like they will be incorporating. So there's not much here, I know, but I'm kind of just theory crafting on what the guilds might be like. I would love for them to incorporate some type of, major boss that takes multiple days to fight, where you have multiple people going in. Honestly, I feel like they could do a lot of different things. Maybe where you could bring more than a team of 3, where you could put in a character and maybe up to 7 people could put in a character that kind of surround the creature, and you could fight it all in one kind of epic battle. I feel like that would also be pretty fun. But I don't know. Like I was saying, whether guilds are overdone or not, to me, what's important is how they do it. So I think that this game is more or less going pretty good so far. We've seen a big boost in power creep recently, but we knew it was coming at one point. It is a gacha game after all. Now we've seen, weapons take a level jump, but we knew that was coming as well. And, as much as people don't like to see it, at the same time, there's already been, clears of the EX2 Ifrit Bahamut fight where no one's using anything above level 90 weapons, which has been the case so far. It hasn't really been necessary, and that's one thing that I think Applebot deserves to be commended on is, even though they're adding power creep, not making it so that you need these things immediately or even close to immediately, which I think is a positive thing overall for the game. But I'm honestly curious. I made this video today because I wanted to hear your guys' thoughts on guilds. Are you excited for it? What would you like to see? It looks like they are coming. So, if you just don't want them and you dislike the idea, I mean, at this point, I think wallowing on that perspective isn't going to get you anywhere because it looks like they're coming to the game. So instead of hoping that maybe for some reason they don't, or getting stuck on that, let's try to come up with some ideas for how they could make it fun, how they could make it a great addition to the game. And so I think that ways to incorporate more players into co-op would be super fun. Some type of co-op crisis dungeons. I don't know, that'd be kind of fun to run around with other people in a crisis dungeon. I don't know if that would work. I don't know if you guys, this is slightly off tangent, but I don't know if you guys have been experiencing little crashes in the dungeon rankings. I've experienced it right when you tend to go into a boss fight, it'll just sit on that blank loading screen for a while. And yeah, it happened more frequently this time in the abandoned factory. So I don't know. So maybe they might not be able to do something where several of us are playing, but I would like to see something like that. And I think that guilds could be a really fun way to get extra mats and items and crystals. That's normally how it was in War of the Visions. We would get extra crystals for winning, tons of extra mats, and there were different leagues that you could go up in. I overall thought it was really fun. The guild thing was my favorite aspect of it. It brought together a great community. I know people have had bad experiences in the past, but I don't think you can say that the guilds are the problem. People are the problem in that case. And if you have a good leader and a good community, then those things are not going to be a problem, So that being said, I'm still on the fence about making a guild, but I think that I'm leaning towards it. I led a guild called Farsight all the way from the very bottom of the ranking in War of the Visions for 2.5 years. We climbed all the way up to top 50 in global which was super fun. Great time with everyone. I had a bunch of real life friends in there. So if you guys are interested in potentially joining a guild that maybe I just might be making around week 7, be sure to check out the description in this video. There is a link to my Discord. It is called the Curseborn. Yeah, that way you can come in, check out the Ever Crisis community, and we'll see from there. I'm curious how many people would be allowed into a guild. I think 30 would be a small number, as it seems like the friends list are a little small at 30. I think they should bump it to like 100. And I think a guild, depending on what content and what they're trying to do, I think 50 for members would be like a bare minimum. But I am curious, what do you guys have to say? Did you guys enjoy this video? I just thought it was something interesting to talk about. I know it's a controversial topic, but yeah, that being said, hope you guys have a wonderful day. Take care and peace.